bit because Mehdi Hassan was on MS Now, but also we'll cover. I'm gonna take a look at a little bit of this right now, because man, Democrats, the blue wave is coming, baby.
Across
I really hope this isn't like the red wave that disappoint.
6 states, Democrats argue they got momentum and they're unifying around these nominees. Now let's take a look at the top of the show at how it unfolded in real time across the primary election night.
It is election night in America once again.
The Associated Press has just projected that Amy Klobuchar
Amy Klobuchar won. Yeah, that's right.
will be the Democratic candidate for governor.
Darlene Graham will
I'm so excited for Amy. I'm so excited, man.
advance to a runoff.
This is a very emotional night.
Republicans infighting like crazy. Okay, Tungsten, guys.
Johnson, we have built something that will change politics forever.
And we're not going to give up this race until the votes are counted. That's nonsense.
This campaign was about the many versus the money.
Tom Tiffany stood with those who tried to overturn a free and fair presidential election instead of defending our democracy.
Well, guess what? The many just won.
Now, Newsmax is conducting its own poll on President
Don't do
Trump's
this
job
shit. They sell your
performance.
shit to
Takes just a minute
Israel.
vote. So let us.
There you go. You kind of get a little excited, feel like people are really voting, things are happening. I can tell you a lot of Democrats were studying the Wisconsin governor's primary, where voters made David Crowley the Democratic nominee. Now, he's a 40-year-old city official, a member of the ACLU and NAACP,
Crowley's going to be so good, too.
Who, in most years, might seem like a pretty standard Democratic option. But as these year's primaries have featured energized and often victorious Democratic socialists, Crowley's new win after trailing in the polls is being covered by some as a kind of rebuttal to the left, a stunning loss for his more liberal opponent, as the Times put it today. Now, that is ideology. On electability, nonpartisan.
No, it's not. It's not a loss. I'm sorry.
Experts view Crowley as the stronger choice for the Democrats to win. One forecaster shifting that race to the Democrats now that Crowley is the nominee.
Yeah, I agree. I think people hating on him, I think part of it has to do with
he
him
had
being
trailed
black.
by many points,
or at least
in some
on the
polls,
Republican side.
Some in the political media are rushing to argue this must be a wider trend. Axios interprets the race as a sign that socialist fever is breaking.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Center-left wing of the party could make a comeback now. Well, many of those reactions are basically narratives hunting for data.
Yep, I agree.
You know I keep it real with you here on The Beat, at least I try to. And the fact is, we won't know much about what all national voters want in the midterms until the midterms are held this November. What we know about Democratic primaries is there is at least now room and certainly a receptive sort of public mindset within Democratic voters for economic populists and for actual Democratic socialists. Voters just showed that in Michigan, which is not exactly left of.
Oh, I love that AOC's on stage with him. Guys, AOC, man. Zibi Florp un Guga Plox Zorn Mamdani Zoom Zop un Go. Yeah, dude. I agree with
California, generally. And if you just broaden out even beyond our certain kind of MAGA-infested era, 20 years ago, New York was run by a centrist billionaire, known above all else for his business career. Today, it's run by a Democratic socialist. Just as New York's district crossing the Bronx and Queens, which is kind of a working-class Democratic enclave, was then, 20 years ago, led by the establishment Democrat Joe Crowley. Now it's repped by the most prominent Democratic socialist in Congress, AOC. And so positions that were once almost disqualifying among Democrats in most part of the country are certainly now allowed. They're on the table. Sometimes they are rewarded.
I feel so bad for Bernie. He was 20 years too early, but he worked his ass off and he got us to this point. I think on top of all this, winning, by the way, and I don't want to go too far into this because like I've already been talking about this all day, refuses to concede. A lot of this is also going to be with Bernie walks so others can run. Yeah, true. I think we got to also recognize that a lot of this is going to come with some intense Islamophobia.
We've talked a lot about Abdul El-Sayed. I have been fascinated by his campaign for Senate in Michigan. And
it's because Abdul El-Sayed and Mamdani are Muslims.
Has found himself at the center of the conversation about the future of the Democratic Party. I was thrilled to have him on the broadcast before his primary win. He is a public health official and a Rhodes Scholar, and now the Democratic candidate for
Dr. Saeed, Abdul al-Saeed.
U.S. Senate in Michigan, and he made history as the first Muslim nominated by a major party for a Senate seat. His victory comes as Muslim voters and candidates are becoming an increasingly visible force in American politics.
And I agree. I don't like that narrative. I think the narrativization of Muslims getting more popular is Abdul al-Saeed is kind of hot. Not my type of guy. I think the narrativization of like, oh, Muslims are getting more popular. No, democratic socialism is getting more popular. And a lot of Muslims are on that because they've been abandoned by the Democrats.
El-Sayed ran directly against the Democratic establishment. He campaigned on beating back big corporations and expanding healthcare access and changing what he sees as a broken political system. And those positions made him a target.
Yeah, no, sorry. Now that I'm thinking about it, I really don't like the narrativization that they went for with that.
Target for plenty of political criticism by the Republicans and by members of his own party. I heard some of it when
oh yeah, Democrats do not like this.
I was there in Michigan. And as his campaign gains momentum, criticisms of his policies are increasingly becoming intertwined with attacks on his religion. And you know what? We saw the same thing happen with New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani and Congresswoman.
People just do not give a fuck, by the way. They do not give a fuck about religion.
Ilhan Omar. She deals with it constantly.
Ilhan Omar also has been dealing with it for years, yeah.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib deals with it as well. Anti-Muslim vitriol. Islamophobia front and center. Over the past few months, the Center for the Study of Organized Hate, also known as CSOH, they found that El-Sayed's campaign gained traction. As it did, the Islamophobic comments followed in record numbers. Between June 1st and...
Jesus Christ. And it's because Trump says like shit like this. Hold on. Trump reacts to Abdul al-Saeed. Trump's racist remark. No, where is it? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to keep this playing while I find it.
On August 3rd, check this out. Anti-Muslim messages averaged 155 posts a day on social media sites. And during the week he won the nomination, look at the spike. That number surged to nearly 3,100 a day. Last week, on the single day that El-Sayed won his primary, nearly 12,000 anti-Muslim posts rolled in.
Jesus, man. I'm trying to find the thing about it being pushed back against Trump on Muslims. Nope. I mean, he's been holding this opinion for like decades now, obviously, because here's Trump 10 years ago.
He said Muslims are a problem. Okay, that's what he said. Okay, are they a problem? You tell me. And I say, I don't see the people, and I use it often, that knocked down the World Trade Center going back to Sweden. Okay, so he said Muslims are a problem. That was part of what he said. Well, I mean, can you make the case that it's been tough? And by the way, most...
Can you please bring back Obama? Legendary Super Saiyan, I know there's ads. Okay, if you guys are going to complain about ads, then sub.
Muslims, I know many, are great people, just so you put it on the record.
So let's say, do you think Muslims are a problem?
Well, I think a certain segment are certainly a problem, and unless you...
Yeah, shit like this, narrativization from Trump like this, is why Islamophobia, Spanish Dove ad, Abdul al-Saeed. I'm gonna get the C-SPAN video here. We back. No, Obama's not a good thing. Obama was a terrible president. By the way, if you guys don't want ads, sub.
Congress are working.
Otherwise, shut your fucking mouths. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I gotta make income, guys.
Every day to defend the American dream for you and your children, the radical left, the
I know. I'm
maniacs
not
are
judging
trying
you.
to
I'm
destroy it
joking.
with the disaster.
Oh my God, chat. I'm joking.
Known as not socialism, communism. It's communism. These are communists. And the polls were wrong again last night when they thought it would be a landslide victory for a hater of Jews and a hater of...
So shit like this is why Islamophobia is getting so much higher.
That was the highest single-day volume this summer. You might be thinking, well, you know what? Those are just faceless accounts trolling online. They're not. They're not. You're wrong.
It couldn't be that many faceless accounts.
This hate is coming from American government officials, like Republican.
Yeah, well, Nancy Mace is, why are liberal white women traitors to women? They claim to be liberated, but yeah, they vote for radical socialists who sympathize with Hamas and take cues from Ayatollah regimes where women are treated as property. Didn't your son get arrested for having child sexual abuse material? Nancy Mace son? No, not Nancy Mace. Republican's son gets arrested. Oh, Lauren Boebert's son.
Republican South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace. These are posts, I hate even put them up, that she made in August alone. I'm going to spare you reading them out loud because they're deranged.
True.
And then there's President Trump. Here he is in a press conference after El Sayed won.
Well, the one thing is we have jihadists being elected all over the place. We have this...
Whoa! Holy shit! Just calling him a jihadist, just letting it rip.
Whether it's communism, jihadism, it's a lot of friend of mine called up. He said, you know, really, you should use the word jihadist because that's what's happening.
It's disgusting. It could not be clearer. El Sayed's victory was not just a political upset. It was a sign of a changing America.
Yes, it is, and I'm excited for it. His blue suit makes him look even more orange. Yeah, Trump loves them contrasting colors.
And the backlash is showing just how uncomfortable that change can be. Joining me to discuss the implications of it all is Mehdi Hasan, CEO and editor-in-chief of Zateo.
What's up, Mehdi Hasan? That's sadly my president. True. Also, yeah, Legendary Super Saiyan, there's a lot of evidence that Obama's appeal to be bipartisan led to Trump. So we're not dick sucking Obama, who was a war criminal.
Theo, it's so good to have you here, my friend.
Thanks, Jacob.
I want to start with Nancy Mace, and I hate even talking about it. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, Obama was like, we'll talk about that after this. Remind me.
She got all this backlash, most recently for calling Muslim elected officials Trojan horses. But then, and again, I apologize, everybody, for making you watch this, but I think we should. She went on CNN and she doubled down. Let's listen to this, Mehdi.
And in the future, when our granddaughters are wearing burqas to school, we're going
to... When our daughters are wearing burqas to school?
There's no indication that is happening on a wide basis. Folks that are getting into office.
Did you see the parade in Chicago today? Have you seen Dearborn? In Dearborn, Michigan,
an expression of culture, Congresswoman, is different than a blanket city policy.
This is a sitting Congresswoman of the United States of America, Mehdi.
Shit like that should make you, like, genuinely, it should be immediately illegal to run for office. Like, there's no reason why people should be able to run for office like that.
Yeah, it really shows you how bad the problem has become. And Nancy Mace is an interesting example because a few years back, Jacob, she went on TV and condemned Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene in her own party for being anti-Muslim, for attacking Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar with anti-Muslim rhetoric. So she knows right from wrong. She chooses wrong. She chooses to red pill herself, radicalize herself, whatever you want to call it. And it just shows you, Jacob, something that I've been saying for a long time, which is the Islamophobia we're seeing is not organic. This is not something people are kind of believing in. It is used.
It's the same thing with transphobia. I mean, Mehdi Hasan knows this. Mehdi Hasan knows this about transphobia.
Cynically.
He holds both these positions, but obviously they're talking about Islamophobia. I just need to bring up that it's also the same with transphobia.
By Republicans to advance their careers, their agendas, to distract from failing economic policies and a disastrous war. My friend Dalia Mugahed, who's an expert on American public opinion when it comes to attitudes to Islam, she did a study which showed that Islamophobia in this country, Jacob, doesn't spike after terrorist attacks, as people assume it does. It actually spikes in the run-up to elections because it's
it's used as a talking point.
Used as a tool to manipulate public opinion. It's not organic at all, she says. It's manufactured. And you see that. We've got midterms coming up. We've got a Muslim candidate in a swing state. Surprise, suddenly everyone's Islamophobic again. Donald Trump wasn't talking about jihadists until suddenly he was reminded to by a friend, he says on the phone. I wonder which friend. So it's all very,
no
very
friend.
cynical.
Give me a break. Yeah, exactly.
Well, he doesn't have friends, of course, but it's all very, very cynical. And I think you look at the National Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee. They called him Abdul El-Sayed until he won the primary. And then he's a generation candidate, and suddenly he's Abdul Rahman Muhammad El-Sayed. They're going to...
I love Mehdi.
Say all the names, just like they used to say Barack Hussein Obama, or Trump still says Barack Hussein Obama. They know what they're doing.
And Abdullah says to keep my name out of your mouth if you can't say it correctly. And you're so right about it being manufactured. Literally, if you go to Michigan the day after the election, these are advertisements that are being put on television that is stoking all of this. Official advertisements. This is not people offhandedly saying stuff. And you said it. It's not new. We've seen these types of attacks against Muslim politicians for years. After Mayor Mamdani won, there's a resurgence here.
God, the post after Mamdani won, there was like 9/11, and they freak out when someone dares to make a joke about Christians. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
The city of a very public anti-Muslim rhetoric, and it's actually something that you wrote about last week for Zateo. You called him. It was a Muslim boogeyman, is what you said. Can you expand on that? Why is it that he's a boogeyman?
So for years, the Republican Party have been inculcating their base that a Muslim person is to be feared, especially a Muslim man in a beard with a long name. They did it for Obama, who, of course, wasn't Muslim. But now they've got actual Muslims they can rail against. I often point out, Jacob, when it comes to Zoran Mamdani is a African-born Muslim socialist. He's everything that they said Obama was, but wasn't. So they got what they wanted. This is their kind of dream when it comes to kind of scaring their base. They can point to Mamdani. They can point to Abdul El-Sayed. They can say, look, these people are taking over our country. And this isn't just a national thing. You go to a state like Texas, Jacob, the entire Republican Party machinery is...
I forget that Mamdani was born in Uganda.
Geared towards now inflaming fear of Islam, even though Muslims make up, 2 to 3% of the Texas population. The governor there this week, Greg Abbott, went out of his way in the last few days to go after airports in Texas that allow Muslims to wash before praying. He said that's religious discrimination against Christians. The Republican Party in Texas asked a Muslim conservative, this is a Republican Muslim, they asked him to leave their convention, as the Texas Tribune reported earlier this year, because they think that every Muslim there is a threat to Texas and Christianity. So that is really dangerous. And Jacob, we understand when anti-Semitism is on the rise, why that's a danger to our Jewish brothers and sisters. We see attacks on synagogues and say, well, let's be careful about our rhetoric. We don't do that for Muslims and Islam. Look at what happened in San Diego earlier this year in May. An attack on an Islamic center which killed 3 worshippers. Could have killed 100 kids who were in an Islamic school. Luckily, they managed to get out. 2 of the 3 people who died basically rescued them. These were 2 neo-Nazi teenagers in America today in 2026 who went in and murdered Muslims at prayer. Words... they have consequences, right? And this is the atmosphere we live in. The Republican Party is really... People like Zoran...
Every single Democrat... And every single, my grandma says this country is going to hell in a handbasket. I mean, she's not wrong. Every single Democrat who doesn't actively perform the same level of anti-Islamophobia that Mehdi Hassan does, is like super complicit. Like, we need to be really aggressive about our anti-Islamophobia.
Mamdani, Ilhan Omar, they have to walk around with insane security. Ilhan Omar has, guards wherever she goes. On January the 6th, she was pulled out of the chamber with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and others, even though she wasn't in leadership, because the police genuinely feared that the mob would attack her first. This is the level of Islamophobia we have in this country right now.
And having hosted 2 specials in my prior gig about anti-Semitism in America, I thought it was so extraordinarily important that we had this conversation today. Just real quick before I let you go, I do want to point out also that...
And by the way, people are going to respond to this saying like, well, what about Islamophobia? Or what about before Trump, if she was alive today, she would say we arrived. Oh, yeah. Oh, she said that before Trump? Yeah, smart lady. No, the thing about it is like, fuck, I completely lost my point because I saw that chat. People conflate being pro-Muslim mayor or whatever to being anti-Semitic, and we really got to be like, whenever somebody says that, just call them a moron. Just call them a moron. Just be like, you're an idiot. I'm anti-Islamophobic and anti-Semitic. I love my Jewish brothers and sisters, and I love my brothers and sisters that are Muslim.
here in New York City, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think Mayor Mamdani's approval rating, it takes away from the work that he's doing. Is I think as high as it's ever been in the wake of him becoming the mayor of New York City, Mehdi.
I think that's really important. And Zohran Mamdani has shown
Preach,
what
sister,
it's
hell
like
yeah.
to push back against.
And I love my Catholics, brothers and sisters. I love my Buddhist brothers and sisters. I love my Christians that are not Protestant brothers and sisters. Like, or in evangelicals. Don't like those guys. Christianity probably, I mean, obviously. Could you condemn Hamas? You know? The whole Islam is automatically anti-Semitic rhetoric is violent. Yeah, it is.
Against stereotypes and bigotry. Normal people, let me say, normal people don't look at Zohran Mamdani and say, that's a jihadist. And I hope they say the same thing when they look at Abdul al-Sayed, a doctor, a family man, someone who spent his life to public service. And I think it's very important that liberals, centrists, moderate, swing voters, non-conservatives speak out against this stuff. Because that's really...
I agree.
Important. We know that there's a faction on the right that's super Islamophobic, racist, white supremacist, anti-Semitic. The point is, what is the rest of us doing about it? Are the rest of us taking this stuff seriously? Because I can assure your viewers, Muslims right now are the canary in the coal mine for the white supremacists in charge of this country. They're coming for everyone, just us first.
Yeah, 100%. He's 100% right about this.
Here.
All right. I just wanted to see if there's anything more. No, he's 100% correct about that. It is a canary in the coal mine moment. And they know this. That's why they're double or tripling down on Islamophobia. It's really scary for my Muslim brothers and sisters. I know Muslims that are really, really terrified to like even go outside right now. Yeah.